You're watching Screenscope Reviews, where stories don't just end, they reveal what they changed inside us. Today's update on Heartstopper isn't about cliffhangers. It isn't about contracts or release calendars. It's about something quieter. Something intentional. For months, the real conversation hasn't been, what happens next? It's been something deeper. What happens when a story has already done its job? Season 3 didn't feel like a finale. It felt like standing at the edge of adulthood and realizing you can't walk forward as the same person you used to be. Nick isn't measuring himself against old insecurities anymore. He's imagining a future beyond school corridors and familiar routines. University doesn't just represent distance. It represents transformation. And Charlie? Charlie isn't fighting just to survive emotionally. He's learning how to exist without constantly bracing for impact. Healing isn't loud anymore. It isn't dramatic. It's steady. Quiet. Earned. That's where this ending was born. Not from pressure. Not from fading momentum. But from understanding what coming-of-age stories are meant to do. They aren't designed to trap characters in their most beautiful moment. They're meant to guide them to the edge of change, and let them step forward. That's why the story is moving toward a film finale instead of another extended season. Not as a shortcut. Not as compromise. As design. This isn't meant to feel like one last episode. It's meant to feel like closing a book and realizing you wouldn't rewrite a single chapter. What makes this conclusion different isn't scale. It's protection. The cast, led by Kit Connor and Joe Locke, aren't just returning to finish scenes. They're safeguarding the emotional honesty that made audiences connect so deeply in the first place. And creator Alice Oseman isn't stepping back. They're shaping this final chapter directly. That tells you everything. Production hasn't felt like hype. It's felt like gratitude. Like a team that understands they created something complete, not something that needs to stretch endlessly to prove its value. The story begins in that fragile space after Season 3 where love itself isn't fragile anymore. But life is accelerating. Different universities. Different routines. Different versions of adulthood arriving at different speeds. Instead of manufacturing chaos, this ending is expected to ask something braver. What happens when two people love each other while both are becoming someone new? Because love isn't tested when life stands still. It's tested when everything moves. And this finale won't just belong to Nick and Charlie. Friendships will evolve. Dreams will sharpen. Some bonds will remain steady. Others will fade naturally. And none of that will be framed as failure. Because growing up was always the real story. What makes this ending powerful isn't spectacle. It's choice. In a world where shows are extended until they lose themselves, choosing the exact right moment to end feels radical. Not rushed. Not unfinished. But complete. And if this final chapter delivers what it promises, it won't feel like something being taken away. It will feel like something gently placed down, exactly where it belongs. And here at Screenscope Reviews, we'll be there to talk about what it meant long after the credits roll.